In today's 128, I want to talk about a book that is one of my top 4 favorite leadership books. It's called Leadership and Self-Deception. Have you ever dealt with someone who was completely convinced they were not the problem? But they absolutely were the problem. Yes or yes? 100%. Now, how many times has that been us? Where we're convinced there's no way I'm the problem. There's no way that this issue is because of me. But if we could take a step back, look outside of the box, we would see, yeah, it's on us. That's what this book, the main principle of this book, talks about. It introduces one of the most uncomfortable leadership principles that we can apply to the 128 hours that we're outside of the shop. Self deception. We all deceive ourselves often. I like to say it in this way: we judge others on their action, we judge ourselves on our intention. I'll say it again for those in the back. We judge others on their action, we judge ourselves on our intention. Why is that? Is because we have a natural response to resist ownership. Why is it that little kids have no problem lying to you? They could have chocolate all over their face. And you go, "Did you eat the chocolate bar?" No. We aren't geared to take ownership. We're not geared to see our part in the problem. But yet we can point it out in others. And so we betray ourselves by justifying our inaction, justifying our disconnection, justifying our laziness, our whatever, when really we need to take ownership and get outside the box and go, hey, look, what can I own? When we take that mentality, we start to see the people around us as not just people, but we see them as influencing a problem, influencing a situation. Think about the last time you were frustrated with somebody and you talked to a friend about it. How much of it did you say, well, this is on me, this is their part? Rarely. We go, this is what they did, this is what they said, this is that. It's always about the other person. We make ourselves the victim when we deceive ourselves. We talk about it in the context of working a call. If you believe the person has the ability to say yes to what you're offering, you're already ahead of someone who says they're not going to do anything. They're not going to buy. They're not going to purchase this. In the same way, in yourself, if you go, this is just what I have to deal with, I'm just this way. Well, yeah, you're always going to be that, and everything around you has to justify the belief you have about yourself, the environment, your relationships, everything. How do we fix that? We create a new language. If you start to take ownership and go, hey, I'm not good at that yet, you take a brick away from that self deception that this book talks about. I'm not great at having these conversations yet. I'm not great at holding myself fully accountable yet. And then you go, I am doing these things now. The labels you define yourself with is what you'll find proof of. So if I say, I'm energetic, I'm excited, I'm going to find reasons, ways to affirm that belief. Think about the time you maybe wrote somebody off. Think about the time you wrote a customer off by the way their house looked, or you wrote a friend off by the way they acted when they were upset, and it created a narrative about them. Have you ever considered that that was just a bad instance and not who they are? Have you ever asked that about yourself? If we all were in a soundproof, isolated chamber where no one else could hear what you say about yourself, is it something that is life giving? Is it something that drives you towards success or holds you where you are? Getting out of the box isn't a formula, it takes work. And when you're leading the 128, you have to see yourself as yourself, who you want to be, who you want to become, who you're saying you are. The other people in your life, you got to just see them as people, not who they've been, maybe not even who they are sometimes. I'm not going to hold you to what maybe I've always thought you to be. Now, the pushback to this idea is, well, what if they keep doing it? Well, then alter access. I'm not saying you stay in anything that is detrimental to you or anything like that. But I think sometimes we can write people off before it's time. Sometimes we even write ourselves off before it's time. So, what do you do with this? Identify one way you've put yourself in the box in your thinking and a relationship that you have in a box. What's the story you've built around them, and how can you rewrite that story? Spend some time. Take 5 minutes. Type it out on your phone. Write it out on a post-it note. I don't know your method, but actually do this. Another thing is when you're going to have a difficult conversation, ask yourself, how am I in the box right now? What do I think about that person? And am I just justifying a thought I already have about them? Asking these questions help you stay out of the box, see environments, see relationships just for what they are. And lastly, do something for somebody in your life with no agenda, just because it was the right thing to do. Bonus points if it's somebody that consistently annoys you. Take a moment, identify the box. What's the story? When you're going to have moments of maybe tense conversation, ask yourself how you're in the box. And then lastly, plan something nice to do for someone this week and just watch how the dynamic changes.